What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to an all-new Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4 as our Italian campaign. And it looks like our Blitzkrieg tactic against the French Empire has gone surprisingly well, and actually a little too well, because I was not expecting to be taking over the entire country of France, only about 3 provinces in the south, maybe Savoy, the Alps, and of course the Provence. And with great power comes great responsibility, so of course we do have a lot of resistance to occupation. Going to our resistance map mode, you can see here that we do need to go ahead and throw on a few military police cavalry regiments, which of course we are producing around 20 of these. Unfortunately, they are just lacking a little bit of training. So once they get to about 15% or about 20% training, I'll go ahead and deploy those units. Other than that, we are building and producing a lot of fighters, and I think from now on, because I have so much steel, I think one of my biggest priorities is probably going to be the construction of actual light tanks. And this is primarily because they're very, very fast and they could pretty much annihilate and roll over anything and everyone. And I'm going to start producing a heck of a lot more tanks because I do want to conserve quite a bit of manpower. So without further ado, let's finally dive on in here. I am going to have to take care of Tunisia sometime soon, and possibly like the Suez and a few other places. Are we making any progress on this naval invasion? It's not even on any type of, naval base. So you would think they would wither away and die, which is obviously about to happen. Let's just go ahead and annihilate these guys. There they go. So far, so good. And we have no national focus. Let's go ahead and try to get the armored effort. We're going to get a little bit of experience and a bunch of armor tech. And my entire goal is in 35 days, we're going to have our new fighters produced. That means we're going to use a lot of air experience to, one, improve the reliability and the range. And once we have the research available, we will also go ahead and, construct a lot of additional light tanks. And, obviously, you're probably wondering, looking at our armor map mode, well, why not go for medium tanks or heavy tanks? Well, medium tanks are by far the strongest and most efficient and cost-effective to produce, because it only requires 12 production costs, or better yet, let's look at the 1941. So, 12 production costs for one light tank, 13 for one medium tank, so really only 10% more cost for a medium tank. And you also get a lot more armor, actually 50 more armor, get a lot more hardiness, you get more breakthrough, a little bit more soft attack. So really the medium tank is just all around better. But unfortunately, it requires tungsten, which I don't have. And if I did go ahead and try to get some tungsten, unfortunately, I would have to do a lot of trading, and it's not really what I want to do. Now, the heavy tank is ridiculously expensive at 27 production cost. Now, obviously, it says double the cost of a medium tank. Let me go ahead and shift-click. And so, as you can see, you would much rather have 2 medium tanks rather than 1 light tank. I mean, 111 armor versus 80 armor and 80 armor. Obviously, I would much rather have 2 medium tanks. So that's what we will probably do, is just produce a bunch of light tanks, because we have a lot of oil and we have a lot of steel. So we can obviously create an infinite amount of oil, an infinite amount of rubber, but we can't produce an infinite amount of tungsten. So we'll go ahead, no matter what, we're going to be doing a lot of armor investing, and we're going to have to do a lot of marine invasions as well, taking over these islands. So we will see what happens in time. Looking at our construction queue, we're working on a variety of radar stations, one in Alexander and one in Ile-de-France. We are working on a lot of synthetic oil refineries and civilian factories as well. And primarily, my number one goal is to just go ahead and try to secure a foothold in all of these areas. I might even go ahead and build a few land forts. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is very, very cheap. Very cost-effective. You know what? I don't even know if I need to do that. Don't think I will. All I want to do is start repairing and dealing with a lot of these resistance to occupations. And I think we've got about 2 years until the German Reich decides to declare on the Soviet Union. I should probably take advantage of this time and destroy Greece, but then that would add more fuel to the fire. I don't think I'm really ready just yet. Looks like we're having some small naval skirmishes, and it would make a ton of sense to have some radar, but unfortunately we do not. Are we working on better radar? Yes, we are. 129 days. Let's actually go to speed 5, because things are going very, very slowly. And I really just want to go ahead and deploy all of these units, but we can't, because we're lacking pretty much just the experience. I wonder if we just need 20% or 25%. And I guess it's 20%, so I'm going to wait until everybody's ready to go. And so far, so good. No. Yes, that was everybody. Pausing the game, throwing everybody on here. And now you are going to also garrison Tunisia, and you are also going to garrison Alexander, which I believe it was both of those places. Looks like a lot of others as well. I think we're going to have to go ahead and either add more military police cavalry, because basically cavalry are the most effective units for suppression. How much manpower are we going to lose? 6,500, well, or I guess 2,000, so maybe we could add a few more. Cavalry and cavalry save. We'll see exactly how this works. All we need to do is, yeah, as you can see, we're already making progress wherever these people are. And I wonder, moving out of this resistance map mode, I don't think we need them on the coastline, because we are already doing a lot of protecting there. $240 air experience, and finally we have our new fighters. Let's go ahead and start boosting out production of those. And now we need to get some new variants. So my number one goal is to get 2 reliability and 1 range. So what about 3 reliability and 2 range? Or 4 and 3. Now it doesn't look like we have enough, so therefore we are going to reduce the reliability by 1, and ultimately our range has been substantially improved. So let's go ahead and save this variant, and go ahead and produce the first series. Okay, there went all of our air experience. We still need a lot more oil, which is what we're working on. I'm going to bring this civilian factory down. And so not only are we trying to get about 21 oil and about 12 rubber, we're also working on these radar stations to also improve the amount of protection in our provinces. Okay, so our research slot is available, and I think our number one goal is to start producing some actual armor. So going into our armor, let's get this L6 light tank, and whatever extra, I don't know if we need this many fighters. Whatever extra units we have after we deal with all of these fighters, we're probably going to put them into light tanks, and it is going to take some time to actually not only repair a lot of our factories, but build these, oil platforms and synthetic refineries, and we'll see exactly how this works out. We have a lot of colonial divisions being constructed. Ace Pilot has been promoted. And ultimately, all we need is a bunch of radar over the French territories, the Egyptian territories, and over Rome and Sardinia itself. And looks like a few oil synthetic refineries have been unlocked. We are now producing more planes more efficiently. Excavation has been unlocked as well. I might even go ahead and try to get into a closed economy very, very soon. Looks like armored efforts are being worked upon. About to get 5 more experience as well. Okay, another research slot available. Looking at the armor, we can't really do anything just yet. I don't even know if we're really going to start producing heavy tanks because it doesn't necessarily seem all that viable. However, we can go ahead and produce Marines sometime soon, and we also probably should go ahead and get maintenance companies. So let's go ahead and start the maintenance companies, and I guess in either 90 days or 71 days, we will go ahead and start producing Marines. No national focus. let's start working on the Libyan infrastructure. So Benghazi and Tripoli, all of these areas are now going to be adding a little bit more infrastructure. So I believe that means faster speed. And, ooh, looks like we're being assaulted here. Not only do I believe does it mean faster speed, but I think it also obviously does a lot of other improvements as well. I wonder if these guys can create an offensive line and activate. And then we'll probably just make one large area and then try to dismantle all of these units at one go. Modify our government. Let's go ahead and get the closed economy. Take a look at our actual resources. Didn't really dissipate all that much, but now we have a lot more steel and a little bit more tungsten. We're about to even take over the British Somalia naval base. Further bolstering our supplies. You need to go here, and everybody needs to go there. German interests in Scandinavia. They are about to take over Denmark. And therefore, they are going to get a lot more naval production, a lot more resources, and a lot more recruitable population. I wish I could go ahead and take a quick glance at the actual amount of planes that I have. Supposedly, I have a lot of extra fighters. I feel like I don't necessarily have a lot of naval bombers, and I need to work on that. I would also like to have a lot more radar, especially in the Mediterranean and near Cyprus and France itself. And we are going to get that in about 45 days. Do we need any more oil? Because I feel like we do. And taking a quick glance at our resistance to occupation map mode. Surprisingly enough, it doesn't feel like we're making that much progress. Is anything going in a positive direction? No. Are we even working? all of our... Wow, what just happened? Okay, so it looks like every single unit of cavalry was murdered. We had like positive 25, and I guess what happened is they tried to run across the Mediterranean and were obliterated. That's very depressing. Let's remove these. And we're going to have to reproduce all of those units. That's very depressing, very upsetting. And just like that, we are running out of manpower, and we are running out of resources. Not only do we not have the infantry equipped, that's really dumb. Like, I really wish they wouldn't do anything stupid like that. Okay, we are building more air wings, we're building better naval fighters, we are building more and more synthetic refineries, and all we really need to do is start repairing whatever we can. This is going to take quite some time. Finland accepts the Soviet demands. Denmark has capitulated. And the L6 can finally start being produced. And I think we're going to start trying our best to get the L8. It's going to take 178 days, but I think that's worth it. And we'll see exactly how this works out. We should probably build a little bit of Marines, but that does make me incredibly nervous. You know what we could do? We could do some naval invasions with tanks, and then swarm the enemy with a bunch of light tanks. Don't know how well that'll work, or if at all. Hungary demands Transylvania. I would like to deploy all of these units now. It's not going to be possible until we have 20%. So some of them are good to go, some are not. Romania rejects the Hungarian demands. Japanese diplomats inside Berlin. Let's go ahead and start working on carrier effort. I don't think we're actually going to be building too many carriers, but that doesn't mean we can't try. And these guys only need to deal with the actual ports. Decimetric radar has been unlocked, so therefore we will build better radar inside all of these areas. And now, working on the 1940 version of the radar. We have 228 air experience. I would like to go ahead and further improve our fighters. Not really sure the best way to do that. Obviously, reliability and range. Maybe even another range and reliability. No, we don't have enough. So mid about one engine, making our speed and our agility a little bit better, and I think that is exactly what I will do. Okay, so now we're going to be producing a lot better fighters. Treaty of Krakoa has been unlocked. We are doing phenomenally well. For some reason, we have 6 units on the wrong port. I'm wondering how quickly we can get there without actually dying. And we have not been successful, because we have decided to send 2 units to the north and 8 south. Swag. Okay, when can we produce all of these units? Let's go ahead and deploy them now. Most of them are ready to go. And these units keep dying. I don't know why. Are they trying to, like, sail away? I don't know why they're dying and getting killed. We have 18 now. And as long as the resistance goes down, especially in some of these areas, the rest of the effects will be felt soon enough. I feel like these units are being deployed somewhere that I don't see. It's definitely not in Africa. But I guess we can find out soon enough. And unfortunately, I'm not sure how we're going to be dealing with this threat of Sardinia. We're about to lose our radar station. Let's get better naval bombers. In fact, let's also improve the range and reliability of the radar of the naval bombers. And we do need to start producing better tanks. So should we get different doctrines? I think we also need Marines as well. Romania cedes Bessarabia, so USSR is growing fairly strong. We are slowly but surely making strides on finally dealing with the resistance. And I wish we could do a better job curtailing this threat inside Sardinia, and I don't think we could really do that until, one, we have a lot of naval bombers that are being thrown out into the Tyrrhenian Sea. So let's do that now. Naval bombers, we definitely don't have that many. Let's get 200, and all of them are going to start heading into the Tyrrhenian Sea, and I want all of these guys to assist. So we're going to make a few more interwar bombers. Let's get 300. You guys are going to do some air superiority. You're going to do some naval bombardments. And I hate to say this, but we might even have to build another radar station if we're not successful. I don't even know where my navy is anymore. We have 68 ships. If I did, like, search and destroy in the Tyrrhenian Sea only, you know, we might be able to funnel over some units. We have 22 all the way down here. I'm going to remove these guys. And I'll probably do something like this with those 22 units. These two can go here, and now we have 24. I was planning on sending them over to Sardinia. I don't think that's really the most viable option. Okay, taking a look at Corsica and Sardinia. All 6 of these units can make their way over to France. I wish we had better construction with a lot of these areas. I guess we could start building up more and more military factories to deal with these issues. We're also going to need more and more synthetic refineries, so let's push one of those to the top. And it looks like we are going to do those. Over time, a lot of these factories should repair themselves. It's going to take, unfortunately, maybe a few months, but the infrastructure is being worked on, and it should not really be destroyed anytime soon. Kind of want to throw in a few more planes inside southern France. We don't really have that many, but let's throw on 50. Just to protect our assets, whatever we can, from potential bombers. And maybe over North Africa. Air superiority. So we are doing a lot better than previously. These units have no goal. What are they? Fighters. Let's do air superiority. And whatever fighters... we have now lost our radar station. That is not good. Could we do any type of better tank production? Let's go ahead and take all of these tanks, remove all of these cavalry units, and make light tank, and light tank divisions. I also want to add engineering companies. I want to add recon companies. I don't see maintenance companies. That's odd. Logistics and signal companies. And my goal is to produce around 12 of these. I get it's going to take a while because we obviously need a lot of tanks. We're not really even producing any right now. No, everything that we're using is damaged, but those will be repaired in time. And speaking of damaged factories, all of those need to move down. I definitely don't want to waste resources repairing things that'll be repaired for free. I'm really kind of saddened that this is not working out in our favor. And I wonder, yeah, it looks like we're not really all that successful in a lot of areas, but we're making some strides. I mean, maybe we're starting to push back. Ace pilot promoted, who dares win? And there we go. Another naval invasion from the British Raj. Okay, what can we do? Are we finally producing light tanks? No, we are not. And we're still doing a lot of repairs. Everybody else doing a phenomenal job. In practically almost every area. Looks like we've got a few naval invasions, nothing we can't handle. And these radar stations will be constructed and repaired in time. Everybody else looks like they're holding the line. Though, very poorly. I think what I also want to do is... we're still not really producing light tanks, which is not helping us. And the ones that we are producing are somehow destroyed. What I could do is make these 6 units, switch them over to these divisions, the armor divisions, but we just don't have light tanks. And then what I could do is put this on low equipment priority. Carrier effort has been unlocked. Let's begin the naval air effort. I need to absolutely retake Sardinia. I'm very upset that we lost it to begin with. Uh-oh, lag. Okay, so looking at Paris itself, it is slowly but surely doing a lot of repairs. We are building new factories, new refineries, and we are slowly but surely making strides. And all we need to do is just continue our push. Let's activate. Japan demands French Indochina, so France is obviously getting severely weakened. And now they've taken Cagliari. And we now have our supplies. Is there anything we can do? It's 1940. I would like to get better encryption, but it's not really necessary. It's June. We should probably get better air tactics. We are working on our armor. We're working on our maintenance companies. We are working on better Marines. I think what we want to do is start working on better operational integrity. It's only 62 days, and our fighters should perform a lot better in terms of tracking down other fighters. Okay, this is getting a little frustrating because we still don't have the tanks we need. Everything that we're producing is damaged. And I'm saddened because I still don't know why. Looking at the resistance map mode. So there's no resistance in France. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start training another 10 divisions of military police. And I don't think I'm going to deploy them yet. But whenever I have free space and free time, I'll probably send them on over. Okay, we've now lost the port. It's not going the way we had hoped. All we need to do is take the port. Overrun, swag. Okay, cool. So now we need another 10 colonial divisions. Surprisingly enough, we have 20. And once we take Corsica and Sardinia, things should go in our favor. But now I guess we're going to need some new radar. So inside Sicily as quickly as we can. We'll build that up. And I need these light tanks being produced sometime soon. And I'm going to throw in a lot of army experience, military experience inside our new light tanks. And now that we don't have any radar, I'm wondering if we really should be sending in all of our navies in an area with no radar. Probably not the best idea, so I don't think we will. You all are going to go here, or at least try to. I would like to start producing mechanized, but I need a lot of things. Not only do I need a lot of radar, I need pretty much anything and everything you can imagine. Looking at production, we are still not repairing these factories the way we should be. And I don't even see that much damage. I see infrastructure, health is at... See, some of these are damaged. 3 military factories. I'm guessing all of our light tanks are being produced in Paris. Okay, so far so good in Africa. Maintenance companies have been unlocked, and therefore we are going to be adding ourselves a maintenance company, logistics, and then signal companies. Let's go ahead and save that up. We should probably build yet another maintenance company. So I think we will. We are going to start working on decryption and encryption sometime soon. 150 political power. What should we produce? I'm guessing we're going to get better infantry equipment and design. I'm surprised that we still haven't really unlocked that. And we're not even producing light tanks. This makes me sad. I'm guessing how it's working is the actual... there's probably a queue. And so our fighters are going to come first. Our air support should come last. Fall of Nanjing, so Japan is doing well. Radar stations being unlocked, especially inside Alexandria and a lot of other areas. And supposedly the next factory that gets unlocked is going to start pumping out my light tanks that I've needed oh so desperately. And we don't even have that many light, excuse me, military factories that are damaged. Okay, let's see when this is. The 5th of August, so 4 more days. I have been waiting a very long time for this moment. Practically a few months. But don't get me wrong, we are going to need things like naval bombers. Okay, so here we are, finally making our first set of actual light tanks. And I'm guessing as time goes on, we're going to need a lot more oil. We're going to need a lot of anything and everything. So let's begin queuing up whatever we can. We have a lot of repairs, but they are slowly being fixed up and, sent out. And we're getting more repairs as well, but I guess that's fine. I want to start throwing in a few light tank regiments, pretty much anywhere and everywhere. But I need the production capacity. Do I have too much infantry equipment? No, I actually have too little. Do I have too much support equipment? I need a stronger military presence, and I guess the only way to really do that is to just throw in more and more military factories to basically keep our assets. 1.48 every single week. We are going to get stronger and stronger tanks as time goes on. Let's begin working on the low echelon support. And I guess we are going to go ahead and put an end to this episode. So thank you all so much for joining me. Hope you all have an awesome day, and I will see you in our next adventure.